Do you want to improve at a quicker pace? Check out the GitGud course. Instead of just understanding concepts, you'll learn how to implement them directly into your driving. What makes it effective is the approach and practical drills. Together, we're gonna focus on breaking down those complex concepts into small digestible bits that are simple to understand. Everything from the course was tested and refined during the years in coaching sessions, so what I ended up with was the ones that I saw were the most effective. Let's elevate your racing skills together. Now for the track guide. Guys, if you don't know, I just released a special course specifically for this car where I'll show you the secrets and subtleties on how you can extract everything out of the car. So if you're interested in getting quicker with the Ferrari, check out my website. For the track guide itself, for turn 1, my reference for braking is number 1. You want to stay glued to the white wall, and I advise you to not focus too much on the braking marker. Just glance it, try to approximate the distance, and then move your vision straight away to the apex on the left. You'll be better off if you have more time spent into this entry if you're looking at the apex instead of the braking, because everything happens so quickly. So at close to number 1, I'm applying the brakes in 3rd gear, and you really just want to use the brakes to make the car point. Don't brake too hard. Notice that I'm using 38% max as force of braking, so don't brake more than that. You're looking to get close to this blue part of the anti-curb. You can push the tire on it, but don't cut it too much. If you get it just right, you will shorten your distance, and the moment that you arrive at the curb, you should go back on throttle. And the best advice here is modulate the throttle so that you get this close to the wall. Look how close I'm at this point. So every lap is gonna be a slightly bit different, and the best thing to do is just do slight modulation so you get all the way to the wall right here. Stay in 3rd and then start to turn. Your goal will be to get very close to the other wall on this side. So if you find yourself that the car doesn't have enough grip, which will be the case, the car will start to understeer. If you feel like the car is not turning enough, just do a slight drop in throttle like I'm doing here in the telemetry, then pushing the throttle back again. We have to get close to this wall right here in 4th gear. Now for the next corner, for the right-hander, you don't want to go all the way to the left side of the track because you don't have enough time to reposition and then to turn. You will turn way too late, so instead aim to have the car in the center of the track like this. Start to apply the brakes before you arrive to this banner, so quite early on the brakes because we need to get the car rotated. In 4th gear, don't downshift to 3rd when you're braking, keep it in 4th, and now all the way to the next corner, because now it's like a U-shaped type of corner. You want to be on the brakes. So 4th gear, I'm giving it a 3rd after the apex, and then braking. I'm aiming to put the car on this part of the track. It's not an off track, so you can put the car here with your right tires on the blue line, and still in 3rd gear, trail braking up until you get closer and the car rotates. So if you look at the brake shape, see it's a long trail braking, and those up and downs is me trying to keep the car oversteery, but not too much to the point that I'm losing it. So I'm trying to get a lot of rotation, so I'm trying to induce understeer and oversteer. Don't brake too much, don't brake at a constant value all the way, because you are still turning the car, so the grip levels are quite dynamic. But anyways, before touching this curb, you should go back on the gas, use all this space right here. You can even push your tire on the grass, it won't be an off track and you won't lose time. Now, using all this space to open up, you will turn with 100% on the throttle, and when you get at the apex, at the curb, you will start applying the brakes. And once again, like in the previous corner, want to open up a lot, so I'm downshifting to 3rd eventually, and I'm pushing the car here on the red. From this point onward, with just the trail brake, I'm trying to point it toward this wall. You can get a bit closer than what I did here, so there's a bit more time to be found. In 3rd gear, when you arrive at the curb and you don't see the red anymore, you will push the throttle, because your goal in terms of positioning will be to have the car here on the left, but not all the way so that you're hitting this curb, because it will make the next section of the corner quite hard section. So instead, aim to have the car on the left side, but not all the way to the grass. In third gear, you will try to cut this grass right here. It's not gonna be an off track. Your reference at this point in time should be these blue cones. You want to get very close to those cones. So at this point in time, I'm just managing the throttle input so that I will push the car wide to the wall. And whenever I turn to get closer to the blue cones, I'm doing this lift in throttle just to get more grip. But after I'm getting at this point, so this will be like a checkpoint in the corner, because this is like a long, tricky section. This is gonna be one of the checkpoints. The first checkpoint is just getting close to the wall that we just did. Now you get closer to these cones. And from this point on, you'll push the throttle in such a way that you get this close to the wall. This is the goal. So notice that I did a throttle drop, a slight bit on the brakes, and now I'm managing with the throttle again. I want to push the car and point it to this wall right here. This is our final checkpoint in this section. So I want to get very close right here, and we want to push the throttle early than this part because you want to just gain on the straight ahead. So pushing the throttle, not dropping it to zero, and then picking it back up. Your goal should be to reach the white wall right here, and now it will be just a big straight. So the exit is crucial. And heading out into the chicane, number 2 will be the reference for braking. So at number 2 right here, we're braking in a straight line initially. Notice that I'm braking close to 90%, and the steering wheel is dead straight because you want to maximize the efficiency of the braking. Now a mistake right here is I turned a bit too late, so you want to cut more. You want to brush your tire on the blue anti-curb, exactly as we will do in the next one. So there's a lot of lap time to be gained in this chicane, probably 2 more tenths with the proper line, so make sure you're cutting here more. Then in between those 2 corners of the chicanes, you should still be on the brakes, because you won't have like enough stopping power to just stop it right there. And anyways, because you will take the next curb, you'll try to go on top of it, it's gonna be impossible to do it under throttle. So anyways, you should still be braking up until you get and you're landing right now. Then you push the throttle to stabilize the rear and also gain time on the exit. But notice that we're using the curb in second gear. Don't go to first, it will be slower. Get very close to this wall, and now just cut the distance like this. Once again, it's just a big straight up until we get to the last chicane of the track. There's something specific around here that you can do. So you're arriving from this angle, you can cut a bit the grass here to shorten up your braking zone, so you can brake almost in a straight line, because if you follow the white and blue line, you see that you're going to the left like this. So naturally, if you want to use that grass part, it's not actually grass, it has a bit of texture, it's actually concrete, it's painted green. Something like a small secret in this track. Of course, if you raced it a lot of times, you know it, but if you're first on this track, you probably you're not aware of this. But what you have to do right here, instead of following the blue and white line, because you will brake and turn at the same time, you'll just brake on the green. Look, pointing it and now braking on this green part in a straight line, almost. In second gear, trying to cut in both first and second as much as you can. After you get the first apex, you should be back on throttle. Just drop the throttle when you're cutting the second one. Your car will bounce a bit, but that's fine. Your goal will be to reach this white wall once again, and that's the lap. In short, it's a fun layout, and yeah, hope you like it, hope you enjoy it. If you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my website. I have a free course on my website, by the way. It's the MX5 course. You can check that out as well, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.